Well, in the first place, you were crouching too much on that shot. You had your nose down here against the ball, and you were tensing every muscle. Stand up fairly erect. Be comfortable. This little shot ought to be played about like a long putt.
You don't use your putting grip, brother, eh?
Oh, no, not at all. I use just the ordinary overlapping grip that I use for all my other shots. I was just saying that this little shot ought to be played like a long putt. You should stand up fairly erect and comfortably, take a nice long backswing, be perfectly relaxed, and then simply knock it up to the hole.
Bob, I notice you're using a mashie iron for that shot. Do you use that club for all your chip shots?
No, indeed. I use at least 4 different clubs. Mashie iron, mashie niblick, and sometimes even a niblick, depending on the character of shot required. Now, up here where I'm near the green and the hole is far back, I use this mashie iron, a club which has very little loft, because I need very little pitch and lots of roll. Then I address the ball at a point about opposite my right toe and hood the face of the club slightly. What I mean by hooding the club is that I turn it from this position, which is its normal lie, to this position. Then I hit slightly downward upon the ball. I find that this gives me much better direction than if I played the ball opposite my left foot with the club in its normal position. What I intend to say is that my thought is always to pitch as far as a putting green in order to avoid the uncertainties of the fairway, which may be between the ball and the green. So naturally, if I move back a distance, then I must use a more lofted club. Now here I'm about 40 feet from the edge of the green, and following the thought of always pitching to the green, I must take a more lofted club, in this case a mashie.
Bob, would you please try some more?
Sure, sir.
Bill, I want you to watch this left hand.
I always play a straightforward shot wherever possible, and never make any attempt to put backspin on the ball unless it is absolutely necessary. Now let's move back a bit and I'll show you where I use a mashie niblick. Louis, let's have some more balls. You just watch a few shots here. Now back here it's just the same shot, but with a more lofted club because I have to pitch farther. In making this shot, there should be no attempt to limit the use of any part of the body. Arms, wrists, hips, and knees all should have their part in accomplishing a smooth, leisurely stroke with no suspicion of hurry.
Chipping 101, and that's what we're going to go through today, because we're not dealing with a square face putter or such, that there are a million different ways to stroke a putter. When you have so much coverage over the ball because the face is square, it's very easy to make contact, and you can do it a multitude of ways. However, in chipping, you're dealing with a 60-degree wedge where the leading edge is coming into the ball first. And because of that, there's only one way to chip. Everything we do in chipping is designed to keep the leading edge down, and so the most basic movement requires that you do 3 things. The first is, where is your weight position? It's got to be on your front foot. Because if it's on your back foot, the leading edge comes up. So your weight has to be on your front foot. Number 2, your hands have to be ahead. Your hands cannot be behind. They have to be in front, creating almost an inverse line. You don't even want it to be straight. You want it to be turned where your hands are ahead. And number 3, you have to decide if you're going low or high. If you're going low, the ball's off your back foot. If you're going high, the ball's off your front foot, but it should never be in between your feet. Most people chip with the ball in between your feet, and they've not decided what shot they're going to hit. When the ball's in between your feet, you can't put your weight forward because you'll go over the top of it. If you want to try to hit it high, you have to scoop it, so you put your weight back to try to help it up. You can't chip with the ball in between your feet, yet people, time after time, try to chip with the ball in between their feet. So, the most basic chip here, we're going to go low. Ball's off the back foot. Now, it can vary depending on how low or high you want to go, but it's going to vary off of the back foot. It's not going to move off of that. My hands are ahead, my weight is forward, and I'll hit a low little running shot. Now that came off a little bit too hot and rolled past the hole, so I'm going to go hit the next one high, a little bit higher and softer. The ball will be off my front foot. My weight is still forward, my hands are still forward. You can see that went a lot higher and stopped a lot quicker. Now, if I want the ball to stop more or less, I can adjust the face, but there are 3 things you have to do when you chip. You have to put the ball off your front foot. To go high, you have to put it off your back foot to go low. Your hands have to be ahead. And your weight is always on your front foot. If you do that, you'll make solid contact every time. It's the most easy, short golf swing in golf, but nobody does it right. Well, very few people. And if you do it right, it couldn't be easier. I hope that helps.
All right, let's see it. Scotty?
What are we doing?
What would you do to this shot? First thing you would assess to this flag? Obviously the lie, right?
Obviously lie. Because if it's a good lie, I'd like to go up in the air.
Yep, agree with that.
If it's not a great lie, I'm going to have to go low. But this one looks pretty good.
That looks like it's sitting up perfect.
Yeah. Am I hitting it?
You're hitting it.
It's kind of nice we got the wind in our face, too.
You use, you using the bounce or the leading edge?
I'm a bounce guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I think when I start chipping poorly, I'll start using too much of the leading edge, and I kind of almost like the grip goes first, and I start leading that leading edge.
Yeah, you see like Jordan, you use the leading edge all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more of a bounce guy.
Yeah.
Especially on these high ones. If I can't use the leading edge and hit it high.
Especially when you're into the grain.
Yeah.
No chance.
So most of the time a shot like this, I'll try and almost feel a little hooky too.
Yes,
Just to get up in
exactly.
there.
Shallow out a little bit. Yep.
Yeah, that way I can actually use the bottom.
Yeah. Awesome. Now, let's say if it was sitting more like that, you go high handle?
Yeah. I'm
toe down?
Toe down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because right now I got a 60. With this one, the way the hill is, I might use a 56. But I can also...
Yeah, I would use a 56 to that front pin if it's sitting like that.
Toe down. Do you toe down?
I do.
Let's see. Let me just show it. Set up.
So I'd be here.
Yeah.
I'd be kind of wrapping it that way. Swinging out to the right with it.
And you use the toe, less resistance?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the heel as high as I can. That's what Raymond Floyd used to always tell me.
Yeah.
And then get your hand up there like that, and stand as close as you can to it. So.
And then just hit little baby hooks.
Yeah, basically. You can try and build that stance here. Right foot.
Yeah.
Left foot. Okay. That feel weird to you?
No, not really. It's a little closer than I normally am.
Yep. But you're also a lot taller too.
Yeah. But when you hook it, it actually runs up that slope.
Yes,
if I
exactly.
don't put hook spin on, I won't get up the hill.
Correct.
Yeah.
What if you go this far flag on the left? What would you do for spin?
To get spin?
Yeah. Would you try and cut it a little bit, or are you still trying to feel like you draw it a little bit?
This one looks more like a cut just with the way the hill is on the left.
Yeah. I see that.
So it looks more like a cut shot to me.
Plus the wind's coming off the right too.
Yeah, so I can use that for
you
more
use
spin.
that,
Yeah.
exactly.
So this one, same thing, open stance, little open face. I probably still feel a slight hook. I feel it, but it'll still cut.
Correct.
Because my hook feel is more straight down the line. My normal one almost feels more like a cut.
Do you ever hit the ball off the toe?
Yeah.
Because I can't stand it when I hit a ball off the toe.
I don't like it off of this, but if I'm ever in the rough, I love seeing it come off the toe.
No, I'm the exact opposite. It's got in the middle of the face.
Let's try this one.
Shot.
Nice. So I found out of the rough, when I can get it to come off the toe, it comes off softer. So I feel like I can almost swing harder. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. So here the bottom's hard, so you can kind of use the bounce quite a bit here.
Like this one almost feels like you got too much bounce to go up with it. Would you go up with that one?
What pen? The far one? Yes.
The far one, yes.
Yes.
What about the front one? You go low?
With that lie, I would.
Just because it's sitting down?
It's just sitting down.
Would you do the same setup?
I would do exactly the same shot, but I would hook it more.
Hook it more because?
Try and get that toe into the grass more. Exactly.
You need the 56.
Yeah, no, you don't. It's hard with the... Yeah, I would definitely do that.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Just got a terrible kick. I'll hit a few more.
No, it's all you. Wow.
Let me see the 56. Trade chip.
Grips are built up.
Yeah. Club's a lot flatter than mine, too. Yeah, it just skips right up.
Yeah. Yeah, I would not go up with that shot right there.
I usually for me, I'll always see low before I see high.
Well, playing out of Bermuda, it's just so hard to trust that it's going to come out the same every time.
Especially out of like just a little bit of
just
rough.
a little bit like that. I was
Yeah.
just like, man, I don't know.
But this way, you can just throw the toe in there and then